morning and welcome to Our Issues Milwaukee. I'm your host, Andrea Williams. Our focus this morning is on the arts. The theater has always been a place where conceptions of race and racism have been staged, shared, and perpetuated. We'll begin today's show discussing a play that has a history of racial conflict. Back in 1959, a children's book titled The Rabbit's Wedding sparked a firestorm, and 60 years later, that conflict is being depicted on stage. My first guests are Leslie Fitzwater, who is the lead actress in Alabama Story, and Mark Flagg, who is the producer of this stage reading. How are you?
Fine, thanks. Thanks for having us.
Thank you both for being here. And immediately when I heard about this book and the history of it and that you guys were actually going to be doing a stage reading of it, I thought people will really get a great feel for looking at what was and what is, you know what I mean? So let's talk about the history of this story that's based on a true story about this children's book, The Rabbit's Wedding. And the story and pictures are by Garth Williams.
Yes, and it's one of the books that he illustrated and wrote himself. He had already established his reputation as a fine illustrator for things like E.B. White's stories. But he decided in '58 to write, I think this was his last book that he wrote, not his last that he illustrated. And it really caused some waves.
Yeah, and basically, if we could explain to the viewing audience, it caused waves because there's this black rabbit and this white rabbit, and Mr. Williams in no way was thinking, oh, I'm going to put a message in this. No. He basically was trying to cut costs and decided he was going to go with black and white. But it's very interesting to me that this book caused so much controversy in the South of Alabama. So this is all relevant in my opinion for many reasons. There were the attacks on free speech, the right-wing demonstrations at readings in bookstores, and then the rise of actual violent racist actions, all behind this book. So if you would, kind of explain why it's so important for you to do this stage reading at this time, the 60th anniversary.
Well, as I got lucky, actually. My wife saw an article about the author of the play, Kenneth Jones, and said, this is a play about a librarian, and my wife's a librarian, and listen to the content. I wrote to Kenneth Jones, and he immediately replied and said he'd love to have it done, and had been done as a full production once before in Wisconsin in 2015 at Peninsula Players. So he sent me a copy of the play, and when I read it, I said, this is a contemporary play. It's not a story that's 60 years old, even though he wrote the play just in 2012 or 13, he finished it.
Okay.
So I know it's relevant. The problems, unfortunately, haven't gone away.
Yeah, that's what I meant when I said looking at what was going on 60 years ago and then fast forward to where we are today, it really makes you stop and wonder how far have we really come. So speaking of librarians, you, Miss Leslie, you play the role of Emily Reed.
Yes.
And ironically, you're a former Milwaukee Public Library employee. So
yes.
I'm interested in hearing you talk about this character and how you're able to relate to her, if you do at all.
Well, aside from knowing librarians, she's such an interesting character, person. I don't know anything about her personally. All the biographies that I've read about her are all professional biographies. I'm not sure how Kenneth Jones fleshed out the scenes that he wrote. He said that she was matter of fact. She had no sense of humor. I don't agree with that because he actually wrote her as having kind of a crackling dry wit. So in one of her biographies, they state that she was a civil rights advocate. I disagree with that. She was an advocate for the book and for her position as the librarian who is bringing books into the Alabama State Public Library system. She was advocating for the book. The senator who brought up the entire controversy asked her what he thought her what he thought her views on mixing of the races would be, and she said, that's irrelevant. My views are irrelevant to my job, so, you know, we're not going to talk about that. I know nothing about her personally.
Wow. It's very interesting, and I think it makes it interesting for those who are going to come out and really take in all that you've put together for them to really, I think, walk away with and kind of dissect how they perceive everything that took place at that time. So it's important to mention that the Seat of Our Pants Readers Theater production is going to present this stage reading October 17th through the 19th at 7:30 p.m. at 53212 Presents.
Yes.
Okay, and that's at 735 East Center Street. So kind of talk about how you're able to take individuals who are participating and put them into these characters, which some of them aren't very nice.
Fortunately, we have some really talented actors, and that's part of my job, is to find them. And we often start this process by just getting together in a living room and reading the play and having the actors say, I want to do it, and then finding the time and the place. We're really fortunate to find this venue in this neighborhood because it's a new venue that's helping to serve the River West Harambee neighborhoods. And we thought, well, there's a population there that would also enjoy this story. Because 53212 Presents is about access to the theater and performing arts, and the book is about, or the play is about access to information and freedom to access it, which is the role of librarians, really.
Absolutely. So what are you hoping to accomplish by telling this story in 2019? I'd like both of you to answer that.
For me, it's just the absolute amazement that not only the social issues, but the issue around banned books is still around. It's still with us, working at the library once a year. The list of banned books was circulated and published, and all of us who worked at the library would say, I read that one, I read that one, I read that one, I read that one.
I think it piques interest when you ban it.
In our own sense of social justice. Yes, the access to information is still exceedingly important. The more people know, the less they are to do things like ban books and hate. So
that's a great way to put it.
Yeah, I hope people come away realizing that we've told them a story. That's one of the key lines. It starts and ends the play. Tell me a story. That's what theater is. And we want that to engage an audience and make perhaps people who don't go to the theater regularly because they don't want to go downtown and dress up and have a big production. They just use their imaginations and get involved in the story. And we often have people coming up to us after we do plays like these and say, I'm glad you didn't do a full stage production because I could imagine what was going on. It wasn't all presented to me. So we ask people to do a little work.
Okay, so that's part of the art, using your imagination. So I thank you both for coming by, and I did want to mention to our viewers that The Rabbit's Wedding is still in print in the 21st century, which is how you got a copy, because this is mint condition here. The pages remain in black and white, and it's just really, I think it's a part of history, and if you really would like to add that to your own personal collection or buy it for your child, then it has a story behind a story. Thank you both so much for stopping by, and I just want to encourage everyone to come out and support what you're doing.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mark Flagg is the producer of the stage reading of Alabama Story, and Leslie Fitzwater, she plays the lead actress in the reading. You can see the performances October 17th through the 19th at 7:30 p.m. at 53212 Presents, located again at 735 East Center Street. For more information, visit mkereaderstheater.com. When we return to Our Issues Milwaukee, we'll continue our focus on the arts and discuss another local production that explores how race, gender, and power have shaped how the story of America is told. We'll hear more about the niceties playing at the Milwaukee Rep right after this.